Ty?
Ty's a guru of these things. Maybe he can tell us what the hell happened. And then we're going to get started with Ayanna.
Yeah.
Bruh, what did IG do there?
I don't know.
I just all of a sudden started to see a countdown. I'm like, why is there a countdown?
I don't know. Maybe you reach your live quota.
What live quota? We ain't done nothing. Let's see, what is this? This is May. We ain't done nothing all May.
True.
They just hate.
What about you? You still doing them 2, 3 a.m. lives? 3 a.m.
You know
lives?
what? I ain't done nothing. I ain't done anything. No, I've not done any lives, but we gotta get the show back going because that was a very inspiring session, and
it was, man. It was. It definitely was very, very inspirational.
That was fantastic, and I'm so proud of Tiff, and she looks great. Like I said, she looks great, and we got to bring in another person who's very cool. I've been looking forward to talking to this woman because as a watcher of these shows, if she flies in here soon. And sorry for the delays again, folks. I don't know what happened. IG just cut us short, but we're here. It's the Shawn Show. It doesn't look like the Shawn Show. It just says J. Shawn Durham, but we are gonna get going as soon as Ayanna accept the invite. But yeah, Tiffany really gave us some mind over matter. Mind over matter. But that's very weird that IG cut us off like that. IG was hating. Okay, as soon as Ayanna picks this up, we'll get going. And thank you all for sticking with us. That's just the first half of our show. Second half is popping in soon. Because I believe the magic of IG for good. Uh-oh. All right, Ayanna, you need to join from a phone or an iPad.
Come on, Ayanna.
Come on, Ayanna. I've seen you. I've seen you do these before. Let's see. Let's bring her in.
Try to get this lighting right for me.
Yeah. You dark. You ain't dark as me, but you dark. Right?
I'm trying. I got a new setup over here I'm working on.
I saw you building computers.
Yeah, I did from scratch. Maybe I'll talk about it one day. Maybe I will actually host a live where I do nothing but take it apart and put it back together again.
That sounds fantastic. Ayanna.
Hey. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can definitely hear you.
Cool.
Fantastic.
What's going on? What's going on, guys?
Nothing much. How you doing, Ayanna?
I can't complain at all about the thing.
We're gonna find out what your superpower is because Shawn likes to bring his superpower friends up.
Her
Always fascinating.
Her superpower is like getting booked on all these shows.
My goodness.
Let's go.
No, seriously, I have a fairy godmother or godfather in La La Land that looks out. So I appreciate those things. But look, let's get into it. You guys have had some phenomenal people on, just really speaking about, their fitness journey and weight loss journey. So, I'm excited to finally get a chance to, have a conversation with you all and see where it goes. Let's roll. Let's go.
For sure. Let's get it.
Let's get it. So, ladies and gentlemen, in case you ain't noticed, and all Generation Xers noticed, this is Ayanna. I just want to give her one name like she's Tupac or Janet or Beyonce, but it's Ayanna Mackins, or is it Free? Because she was like, my mama named me Clay, my daddy called me Clay. Which one? She literally sent me that little meme, like, this is the most ignorant girl.
Yeah, man. It's crazy because that series, Coming to America, and now Coming to America too. It's iconic for our culture, and I feel like in so many ways, competition reality shows. If you go way back to, you can't do that on television, and Double Dare, back in the day, it's really embedded in this 80s, 90s sensibility to just have these experiences. And here we are now, 2022, and you got competition, fall in love shows. So I think it's all
Oh
connected.
God, yeah. We know about them damn shows. But you look great. You look the same. You look the same as you did when you were, what were you, 20 years old when you first came on the scene of Real World Road Rules? Say that 3 times fast. Real World Road Rules.
Well, thank you for that. 4 kids later, many times we shed all sorts of sensibilities from our youth. But when you have, kids around you, it brings back memories such as you better bring your behind in the house before the street lights come on, and all of these things that, that color who we are.
And you're on currently The Challenge?
What's airing right now on Paramount Plus. If you're watching this stream and you're not really hip to what Paramount Plus is, it is a conglomerate of all of your favorite MTV, Comedy Central, CBS shows, and under the umbrella of Paramount. And so through that streaming service, you can get access to all that content. They also have a partnership with Amazon Prime Video, so you can kind of go the back way to get to us. But right now, my show is on Paramount Plus streaming, and we have a new season coming out on May 11th. I'm not on that season because, I have 4 children. Things are filmed during the school year. Sometimes I have to make my priorities where they are. But I have specific cast members that I'm rooting for to go for the big bag. It's the all-stars. It's reality folks from the last 37 seasons of shows all coming together to go for the big bag. So I'm excited for them.
And
that's it.
4 kids. He said that's it.
Lima bean.
Don't listen to Ty. He only has 1.
Oh man.
But that's it's so good to see, and that smile is like infectious.
Yeah.
But you're a veteran of, is it 5 of these shows?
Yes. So.
You know what you're not a veteran of?
Okay.
No.
So 5 seasons. My first season was in 1999. I went on Semester at Sea, which is an existing college program. Again, if you know somebody in your life that's in school or about to start school, look into Semester at Sea. It's a phenomenal program. That's where my stint in reality started. I went on that show and was in college at the time. And that then blossomed into going on competition reality shows. I took a 17-year break, and going on All Stars 3 was the middle of that break. So let's talk about it. What happens when you put a part of yourself on pause for 17 years?
Are some of the maneuvers you try to do when you climb a rock, it ain't as easy to do anymore? Like 17-year break. And you're back on the scene. So let's talk about it then. What was that like?
Kind of like when you're younger too, when you don't really know yourself and you don't know your body, you're going to try certain things in a certain way and think that's the only way to do it. It's not that the body doesn't work, as well, but it just works differently. And, All Stars 2 gave me the opportunity to see how my body works differently, trying to do some of those same things. But it also opened up a conversation for me to connect with other folks that are post 40 that are really doing this in big ways, and just listening to reframing and reshaping my own mindset with how to deal with my body. So it's been exciting for me. I lost 87 pounds between having my last child and being here with you guys today. Now it's more of a strength and agility piece. So, I really credit, my cast member, Darrell Taylor. You might want to look him up. He's Darrell Pound for Pound on IG. He sat me down early on in the competition and just had a real talk conversation. Like, girl, you can't tap back into this part of who you are that you've set aside. But you just gotta, make sure that you get with folks who understand what they're doing and listen. So that's what I did when I got back. Going on that trek for the final, we are pretty certain it was over 30 miles of activity over the course of a day and a half to 2 days. Yeah, I done a marathon once before, but a marathon was over in 3 hours. Going into the 18th hour, I humbly learned that endurance work looks different. I'm excited about it now, and just being smarter and more intelligent about being prepared. But when I got back, I got with Dr. Roddy Ferguson and Arlo Henderson, former NFL football player and current, trainer and coach. And I was like, look, let's take it to the next level. Let's graduate mentally as well as spiritually and physically. And so that's what I did. I got with them. Got the book, the VIP Life, right there. And VIP doesn't stand for what people think it does. So, I encourage you to look them up and check them out. And that's in a nutshell, that's what it is. So let me pass the baton back to you guys. You guys decided to have this show today, having women on and people on talking about fitness. What was the impetus for that?
It's me, and I'm just really interested in. Well, first of all, I do this show, right? But I like to talk about things that's beyond just the regular scuttlebutt that's on IG. Some people just want to talk about who was dating who's doing this and that, and I'm trying to find some things that are nutritious for people that they can have takeaways in their regular lives. Because the reality TV as you see it now is very it dissolves, it's dissolving, and so it doesn't stick with you. But when I talk about people like you and think about like Tiffany, our last guest, who's lost weight, that's life-altering stuff, and you're still at your age going on these shows, a mother of 4, having taken these challenges. I think people getting active this late in life, and this is really late in life, but we feel like it's late in life once we're out of college, right? When you're trying to be active, that's important stuff. And other folks need to get out of the stale mindset that they may be in and see other people do it in 3 different walks. Tiffany is a person no one has ever seen before. Arminta, who's coming up after you, and if you stick around, we'll have a roundtable discussion with her. She trains athletes, and she also is a pole dance instructor. And you're on national TV, so it's 3 different levels of women doing things. And I thought it was just important to just highlight those things and have a real chat about something other than I got disrespected the other night. So I do want to volley this to you. How do you see reality TV as we knew it growing up, the Buna Murray house of what we would watch, changing from that aspect of like, this is a real documentary to now there's a bunch of dramatic music and people are expecting roses or something? What's your take on the genre that you've been a part of 5 times over?
Well, curiously enough, the same questions that people were asking me 20, 30 years ago, they're asking me now. Is it real? Is it staged? Is it scripted? And, to be quite honest, I think that when you truly unravel and unpack the human condition and you open up your mindset to like learn and be aware and recognize the flavors and the textures of individuals versus trying to put them in a box, you have so many stories. You don't have to script anything. You don't have to make anything up. And one of the talents that I think, Buna Murray has possessed over the years, one of the founders of that production company who has since passed on, Mary Ellis Bunham, she had an extensive background and training in, the soap opera world. And most times people will write that off as, oh, these are just little, dramatic pieces. But what keeps people watching, what keeps people there? They find a connection with your guttural cry, as, Cornel West likes to say, in his writings. It gets to the bottom. It gets to the bottom in the core of who you are. So, at least from my experience, I could honestly tell you, oh, wow, I may not have seen it from this angle or that angle, but it was true, for better or for worse, for ugly or for pretty, And when I jump all the way forward to All Stars 2, I think that I was the most fearless that I've ever been in this genre because, as you know, Shawn, it's like we were in the house for 2 years,
Wow.
I've gone through 2 pretty tough pregnancies back to back. Then, you know, I go have a baby, and 10 days later, everything shut down with a pandemic. So the four of us are in our space together, and it was the most endearing and enduring experience I've ever had. You know, you talk about truly understanding what's important to you and what matters. So I go into All Stars 2 with that on my sleeve, and I feel like, you know, even watching Ready to Love and, you know, all these other shows, you can see these you can see these shadows of people being truly on the edge of wanting truth. You know, whatever that looks like for them, they want it to be true. They want it to be real. They want it to, you know, just be as organic as possible. So when I went into All Stars 2, I wasn't leaving anything on the table. If it was a beautiful drink, I was drinking it. If I could look at somebody jumping in the pool butt naked, I was looking. You know, if I could jump off the cliff, I was jumping. I really savored every single moment of my experience. And, you know, it's a unique club that we are all in, you guys, that, you know, we get a chance to, you know, have a walk that we experience in real time, but the world gets to digest after other people have already, you know, cut it up and added music and added emphasis. So, you know, I think that as adults, you know, just to answer your question about being, you know, a little bit, you know, more seasoned in the game, you know, I'll be 44 this year. I had more fun this time than I've ever had because I didn't have those hang-ups that a lot of young people had. I think that reality has changed because so many people are so aware and they're hyper aware that there's social media and there's all this image making and all of that. But for us, the 90s kids, the millennials or whatever, we have that sensibility of really truly going YOLO and savoring the moment, understanding that this life is short. You know, bite that apple the way you want to bite it, love who you want to love, and tell who you don't that you don't, and keep it moving. So I think that's how it's changed. People are really hyper aware of what they look like on camera and how they act on camera and how it'll be perceived. I think that we were a little bit more vulnerable and free. At the same time, I don't know, I can just speak for myself. I had fun. I think I wanted fun more than I wanted the money. Like, I just wanted to.
Because you never got
You're
the
the OG. Every time I think of a question, you end up answering the question in the talk. This is good. This is easy for me. No, I was gonna ask. I know you gotta feel like an OG in this game, right? Not to put your age out there, but it's been some time for you. What are some of the major differences that you've noticed from when you first started to now? Because the world is different, technology is different, access to you is different. I imagine the positivity and the negativity is different. The amount of that you hear and see, is different.
Yeah, very
Talk
much
about that for
so.
a second.
I think the biggest part that I enjoy about where we are now is, the fans' ability to just be able to reach out and tell their stories and make their connections with why they like you. Back then, we would go home. I think, if I'm not mistaken, like the very first season of Survivor came out at the same time that I was on television. The very, very first one with Ramona Amaro, who was also from my hour.
Yep.
And she's on. She came to our event this past week. Actually, it's their event because they're all Survivor people, and I'm just kind of like the person that they were like, "Come on over here, challenge girl, and come see what the Survivor's waters is like." And I'm gonna tell you, I like those waters because those are some of the most down-to-earth, cool people I've ever met. Put a pin on that.
The Survivor folks, okay.
Yeah, the Survivor folks, man. Y'all, you gotta have Bryce and Wynn on the show, man. Like, let's connect the dots and make that happen. So, at any rate, how it's changed. So we weren't able to really hear unless you had access to these events, which were just starting to pop off to try to meet some of the reality stars. It was real easy for somebody to reach out to you and tell you what they didn't like about you. but to really make these authentic connections with folks that, you know, your experience resonated with them. Hey, what's going on, Beta Real? Thanks for coming out to the live today. That Beta Real be riding for me too. Every time I go live, Beta Real be there. So I just got to give you your love, give you your shine while you're here.
Go for it.
So yeah, just being able to connect with the fans. And for me, I've been able to connect with other podcasters and people that work in the same spaces that I'm interested in. Like I was able to connect with Stephanie from Modern Domestic Moms and Elizabeth Rago, and just really have some intense conversations about being women and being moms and getting through the pandemic and making transitions. So I appreciate that access because it balances out the extremities. When I first got home, like my mom had died and people had really centered on a lot of the negativity around what had been perceived as me being this, you know, voodoo priestess, and half the people didn't even know what voodoo was in the first place, save for some Hollywood movie they saw. You know, at that time, I did not have the tools on my tool belt to truly like mute that negativity. So I found myself really isolating and trying to really get away from the limelight. But to make a connection to some of your earlier guests, you know, when you have a shine and you try to mute it yourself, God got a funny way of flipping that switch and saying, you know what, I didn't bring you here to this world for you to mute your light. So I'm going to continue to give you these opportunities and put you in these spaces and X out people that want to dim your light and let the others that want to gravitate to that light bring you out. And that's what happened for me. You know, it's like I'm continuously reminded, you know, when Chad passed, well, Chad was Bozeman. You guys know him as Chadwick.
Yeah.
But we were all in school at Howard together. And I remember him being lit up when it came to just being a creative. And when he walked in the room and was like, okay, y'all, this is what we're going to do, the creatives rallied. I mean, I don't care if you were on the soundboard or you were hanging the light or you were highlighting the script in the corner. There was a pulsation of progress that existed, period. That's how I see technology. It allows those of us that could be a little bit, you know, have hang-ups around our brightness shining. It, in many ways, it compels you to keep your light switch on. You know, those days you don't feel like going to the gym. You open up your social media and, you know, you see Jay Shawn doing some push-ups. And it's like, all right, I see Jay Shawn doing some push-ups. Let me get up there. What's going on, Will? Okay, Will, I gotta go ahead and just wave at you. That's my guy right there, Will Lowe. He knows what I'm talking about. Like, fantastic actor, very, very, very talented character actor. Please follow him, y'all. You know, technology can do that for you. It can also amplify the negative voices. However, you know, what I like to do, I don't know about y'all out there, put it in the comments what you like to do, but how I like to amplify my positivity is that I love liking and loving things that I love. It just changes my whole algorithm. It takes out all that foolishness because I'm not liking all of that foolishness. I'm liking, you know, the Rachel challenge workout. I'm liking Mark Long, you know, do the new show that he's trying to do. I'm liking Nehemiah selling the Save the Palace t-shirts. So it's bringing more positivity into my feed. So, you know, that's just, you know, that's a little part of it. You know, we lose the weight of attracting negativity to us and we gain the lightness of being a magnet for change. So that's what I got for y'all.
just a fantastic smile, and just ebullient is the word I like to think. Ty, when she smiles and she talks, she's just shining, she's beaming, so she really feels this stuff. And it's not stuff, because I believe it too. I remember when Chad died. First of all, I relate a lot to Chadwick Boseman. I wrote one of my big hobbies. It's a weird hobby. Is that I write. I eulogize famous people. So I will write long posts and like journalism posts, like I used to do when I was a Cub reporter years ago. But I eulogized Chad Boseman on my page, and I noticed something. Here's something that's really interesting about him. I noticed that he was actually my age, and only by like let's see, 12 days it was off, different. But the day he died, it was actually showing he was a year younger. And then like after a day or two, they actually put up the real date, which was 76. And I just thought about that because he comes from South Carolina and I'm from Georgia. And I was thinking about how he was masking his age, just pinching off the edges a little bit. But he's like, if I just got a shot. Chad is what we call a late bloomer. You know, I'm celebrating my first gig on HBO. I was on HBO last night for y'all who didn't see. That was kind of dope. Thank you. It's a Shawn show, so I can say something about me real quick. but Chad was one of those brothers who didn't get a real shot until he was almost 30. A real shot. And that, when you talk about the love of being a creative, that I think about him, and that also gives me hope, and it's inspiring. People who want to take away your joy or say what's a creative or what's this or what that, and I had a little bit of that on my time on the show. I don't even want to get into that. But people don't understand. Everyone has their own walk and their own passion. And you got to pursue that. And you can't dim this light if you feel it is God ordained. Somehow you got to push it out there. And it's so true. While this technology may be terrible and that we may be exposed to more things, we can also be exposed to more good things as well. So, you know, that blade cuts both ways. I'm going to ask you this question. Then Ty's going to ask you a question. And then we're going to bring in Arminta because she's going to talk with us. And we'll have a little round table chat real quick. But this question comes from, where did old girl say? She was asking, was it true that you were, when you were first asked to be on the show, that you were basically broke? And did you get any dollars for being on the show just for making a televised appearance?
Okay.
What's that experience?
She in the pockets, Jack.
She's
Let
in the
me
pocket.
tell you.
She's in the pocket.
Let me tell you. Girl, you must not be from the hood, because in the hood you don't never ask. You don't never ask those questions. Not when there's receipts. But look, I can answer your question like this. You know, when I got the very first call, I actually was asked to be on All Stars 1. I got that call in December of 2020. And I remember the day that I got the call, I thought it was a scam. Because again, I hadn't been on television in, over 16, 17 years. So to get that phone call in the middle of a pandemic, and literally within days of finding out that I had COVID, all my kids had COVID. I was going through a very, very difficult time personally. For reasons I'm not going to get into right now because they're not important. But I get this call and I thought it was a scam. So I was like, there's no way I'm getting a call to go to Argentina or wherever else they were going while I have COVID, being postpartum with a baby. And then found out that it was this actual phone call, they were actually serious. And, I'm going to put this, I don't know who needs to hear it on this line tonight, but I'm going to say it.
Someone does. Listen,
sometimes we say no to something because we've already talked ourselves out of being able to do it.
That's right.
I remember feeling relieved when I said, no, I can't do it because I had COVID. I felt so relieved that I had COVID because I truly, looking at my frame, being over 200 pounds, being in the middle of a crisis situation, I didn't think that I had it in me to be able to do something like that. But like I said, you try to make your plans and you see once you see what God's plans are, yeah, you might want to put yourself on the shelf. I get another call 4.5 months later. Like, look, we're doing it again. We have another season. That's what I knew, that this was for me. What's for you is for you. And I said yes to it. Pools didn't open up in our city until like a month later. Like, I hadn't even been swimming in 2 years.
And your city's our city, correct? DC?
DC, yeah. So DC, hadn't been swimming in 2 years. You talk about, broke in a sense of, first world problems, third world problems. Was I dodging bombs in Ukraine? No. At the same time, had I hit rock bottom financially in many ways? raising 4 kids by myself in the middle of a pandemic. Come on now. You know, maybe other people are in a position where they can leverage everything to do everything. And I literally was less than check to check before this challenge. So, you know, I can tell you my testimony. I don't need to hear it today, but when I got on that plane to go to Cancun, I had just enough to pay up my stuff for about 2 months. And I had $7 in the bank, literally $7. Full stop. I was like, whatever's going to happen down there in Cancun, hey, I am riding it till the wheels fall off. I had been assured that it wasn't an environment that was demeaning or degrading in any way. And I didn't experience that at all during the entire time that I was, you know, participating with the show. Which, you know, was thankful that was, you know, it was said that this wasn't supposed to be that kind of party, and it wasn't. You know, I felt safe at all times. I didn't feel like there was any kind of spooky, dangerous stuff happening, you know, save for our extreme activities. But even then, there were support systems there to make sure that, you know, we would address any emergencies appropriately. So, or any emergencies would be addressed appropriately. So, you know, we talk about being broke. I was without cash, but I've never been broke. Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
I have.
Broke is the mindset. Like, there's a
because,
difference between
you know,
poor and broke, right?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, you know, and I took the Lord Jesus Christ into my life, and that's who I call on when I get scared and when I get nervous and all that. And then you're gonna find me saying, "Thank you, Jesus." That's just me. I don't judge nobody else for what they do. You know, you can be without money and not be broke. You can be broken and not be done. And you know, I don't know who needs to hear this today. There we go.
Good. Yeah, that's my book, broke. Y'all should buy it real quick. Yeah, but
there
I know
I'm
broke
so,
too.
You know, to answer your question, sis, yep, I was there. I was like, literally, nobody was cutting the lights off in my apartment. Nobody was, you know, but to say that, did I have a whole lot of wiggle room? Absolutely not. I really, truly was putting it all on the line for this opportunity. And it's been one of the greatest opportunities I've ever had to just be reminded that I'm a child of God, I'm protected, and I got a whole lot more left. So
yes,
I got a little bit more than $7 in the bank now, but we
that
all right over here. So
that is very inspirational. I feel people need to tap into that a little bit more. I feel like, you know, God is working with you. But if you were to listen to the universe and to the signs, you know, you could take a lot of that stress out of your life, you know, and just know it's going to work out. You know, God didn't put you here to fail, you know.
We're having a fantastic conversation with Ayanna from The Challenge and all the other shows, the Pentecostal shows that she's done. And that's a legit word. That's five. Pentecostal shows that she's done. And I just brought in Arminta.
Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can, Minty.
I've never done anything like this, so let me just go ahead and get that out the way. So,
first of all, stand up and show how awesome you've been training.
I am not here for display, okay?
You ain't here for display. What's that picture that
I didn't hear you said you wanted to stand up and show anything.
What's that picture you wanted?
You're not gonna do me. You're not gonna do me.
So we're gonna have a round table here, but we're gonna get to know Arminta, Minty. As well.
Only if you love me am I Minty.
I do love you.
Okay, then it's Minty.
Hey, Minty. Minty is a fitness guru. Okay, we use that because that's a great catch-all word.
Someone told me. I didn't tell myself. So.
Well. If someone told you, that means it's validation. Because the good book says, if there's 2 or more gathered, then there am I, which means you and that other person are the 2. So, with that said, could you tell the audience all about yourself in a pithy manner, and then we'll have a nice roundtable discussion. And
pithy? Ooh, I don't even know what
he likes that. He likes that word.
That's my favorite word.
Okay, thank you.
Because it's literally that and svelte. I like short words that mean
Alexa, stop.
Those words. Svelte.
All right, filthy. Let's see. My name is Arminta. I was named after Harriet Tubman, whose name is Arminta as well. I love everything fitness. I am 45 years old. I live in Washington, D.C. I'm a personal trainer, rehabilitation specialist, and I dabble in pole dancing when I want to. So I'm every woman. It's all in me. I don't know. What else do you want me to say?
Generation X is up in the house. We got 45, and we got finna be double quad. Ayanna? Is that what you? Yeah. Katoro, I don't know how to say it.
The Obama year. That's the Obama
year. The Obama year. Well, you know, I'm trying to get out of this Trump. But with that said, so this is our fitness panel. And we could all talk about fitness or what have you, but it's been a very inspiring night so far because Ayanna has been dropping these pearls about just going, even if there's things like COVID and chill them as obstacles in your way. And of course, our first guest tonight, Tiffany, shed a whole 170-pound person to get to her fitness goals, and she's talking about globetrotting. Arminta, what got you into fitness, and what can you tell us about being at your station in life right now, still about staying in shape?
How did I get
and helping others, if you could?
How did I get into fitness? I would say I've always been active. You know, we had the parents that say go outside, and they meant it because they locked the spring door. You couldn't get back in. You had to be outside. So I've always been when they say go outside, they meant it. And you went to the park, and you hung out with friends, and you stopped by a neighbor's house, and before you know it, it was 80 y'all, and you were just walking the neighborhood, playing basketball, racing, doing all kinds of mess and madness. I always say these kids now, like, you know, you can just track your kids.
No idea
where we were. We could have been anywhere, and as long as we was in the house before the street lights came on, you know, it was what it was. So I would just say I've always been active. I wouldn't say fit because, you know, there was never no push-up contest or anything like that. So it wasn't that. I played softball when I was 11. I played tennis. My uncle was my coach for both tennis and softball. He was very mean to me. Yeah, I got to George Mason on a full athletic scholarship for track and field.
What were your events, if I may ask?
Exactly.
Oh, I was a sprinter.
I was a sprinter. Okay.
Hey, yeah. So people are like saying stuff to me on the side. I don't even know if they know how to be on the line. But anyway, I did the 100, the 200, the 4x1, of course the 60 meters, the 300 because the indoor and outdoor track, and of course everyone did the 400. No matter what you were in life, you was going to run a lap.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Whew.
Respect.
We got some athletes here, Ty.
Yeah, those are my events too. You know.
That's okay, right?
High jump, long jump. You know.
Yeah, that's in high school. I definitely did all the things, but you know, when you got to college, they narrowed you in. And
wait. Ty, I'm sorry, man. Ty's doing all sorts of little sneaky little brags. State champ.
No. State champ. State long jump champ.
Yeah, the high school.
I got a feeling the trophy's about to pop in stream.
They keep up to bring out the plaque.
Wait a minute. Bring out the trophy.
So for people on podcast, when we do this, Ty,
just saying.
All right, Ty, put it to the screen. But Ty has just brought out a plaque with look like a picture at the top. Is that a picture?
It was me celebrating this 1995 first place long jump. State coaches invitational.
Yeah.
You gotta put it to the camera. We need to see.
It's got a little bit of mold on it, but
that's
we got the one knee. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ty understands what I'm talking about when I'm saying. So I competed against a lot of Olympic athletes in high school. I went to nationals in the 10th and 11th grade. Transitioned to George Mason and going on a full ride was awesome. And I just transitioned into fitness after being an English teacher for about 8 years. And one day I was like, I don't like this anymore.
Well,
I was looking at those kids like, we all are one step away from jail. Like, so I just said, let me go find me something to do. And I took a summer job thinking, maybe I just need a break. Maybe I just need a break from the children. I need to do something uneducational related so I can, do that. And I got a job in Gold's Gym, just being fitness liaison. I show people around the gym, show them how to work the equipment so they don't hurt themselves and sue the gym. And the personal training manager came up to me and he was like, how you enjoying your first 2 weeks? I'm like, it's great. It's just I'm coming in here from noon to 6. I'm showing people around. I have a schedule, like all my little times are booked. And he said, well, you're getting $15 an hour. You could get 30 if you got your personal trainer cert.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, okay, well, cool. I did that, $30 for a part-time job, and I was still getting my teacher's pay. So I was like, cool, no big deal. And then I made as much as I was making the first 6 months of the first year of me teaching. And I was like, wait a minute. I didn't go to college and get a degree to have a part-time job. I have to have one. So I started thinking, if I play my cards right, I can do this full-time. And I did. And it's been... Hey, my daughter's on the line. She, so I'm super blessed to be able to go to Mason, get my full ride, get up out of there, teach, decide that I want to be a personal trainer. And when I decide that I want to do something, I don't do anything half-assed. I put my whole ass in it. And it has just developed Pretty Lady Pole Fit, which was my pole fit studio that I operated for 8 years. And I loved helping women get in shape wherever you were. I met you there. I'm not a judgy person. I don't care. I don't know. Whatever your issue is. When they come to me with a little teardrop, I know that it's that mindset. They're ready to make that change. And I just help them through that. And I walk them through it. I talk them through it. I preach them through it. I joke them through it. And I have clients who lost 100 pounds, who lost big time weight loss. And it is a mindset like the young lady that was on here before. When you tap into that mindset and you just make that switch, it's real. It's real and nothing can stop you. The level of confidence that I find that women have gained from having me, as their trainer, it's just been really humbling. It changed my life. I do this full time. I can't believe it. I be like, I can't wait to get up and look good and go to the gym, do some push-ups, go walk my dog. Like, I'm doing my thing and I'm grateful for it, but it's because, once you have that mindset of I'm ready and nothing's going to stop me and I'm not playing anymore, people just do it.
We're coming up at the top of the hour. This is the Shawn Show after a couple of technical glitches here with Arminta, Minty. She's going to tell us how she gets people fit. Ayanna Superhero from all of her shows, Extreme Athlete, and Tyrone, world-class champion of the state of Tyrone or whatever. And we also had earlier, Tyrone's a bee's knees.
We love Tyrone. We do.
In the first hour, we had Tiffany, who told us about her overcoming her obstacles mentally so she can get the things done physically. And now we're just going to have a quick roundtable session, maybe about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I have to wrap it up just for edit points. But if anyone wants to stick around for Shawn overtime, that'll be recorded as well. But I want to throw this to Ayanna. When we talk about, you said earlier that you felt very comfortable and at ease when you finally did rejoin the show after COVID, right? When you joined the show after COVID. How does that feeling as a woman in her 40s, fully grown, compared to when you were 20, 21, whenever, when you had that incident that got you removed from your first ever show because of a racial incident that wasn't on camera? And even, what was his name, Carlton or whatever?
Well, I'll give you the 30-cent version,
Yeah.
Young, I was, we traveled on a bus. And at night, we had free time. Some of the guys came back to the bus. They were intoxicated. I was trying to sleep, and I'm pretty vocal about when I want to sleep, being asleep. some words were exchanged, and that N-word got thrown in there.
Ooh.
And I think that if that cast member probably wasn't intoxicated, he would have handled it differently. I know that being more reflective with what the choice that I made to express myself afterwards, I may have made some other choices as well. But I do think that at the time, you can't go back. You can't go backwards. So, I remember at the time feeling trapped, like I couldn't get out. I'm on a bus and I have a man in my face who's intoxicated using, racial epithets. And at that time, my hands, I had my hands, and that's how I came up. Somebody want to get out your way, and you trapped, and you feel that way.
Little DC. Yeah.
You throw them bows, right? Here we are now, 44 years old. I think people know better.
And you've been invited on 4 more shows since then.
Yeah.
You don't get invited back when you start incidents that could get the insurance folks involved and the lawyers, Well, I didn't say you started, but you know what I mean.
I think the times are different in that, I don't think, I'll say this. Because again, I took a long hiatus. I was a teacher for several years here in DC. Like I said, there's 10 years between, I have 4 children. So my first 2 children, there's 10 years between my first set and my second set. So I've been busy with a lot of things that are not in the world of Hollywood or any of that. The climate is different now. We're experiencing it as we speak with Roe versus Wade and all of these things that we grew up with as institutionalized, whether it's the Civil Rights Act or the Voting Rights Act and access, that are being challenged by at every turn, right? And we got tweets, and we have Discord, and we have all these sites that can break it down. Would I find myself on a bus with drunk men at 11 o'clock at night at 44 years old? Absolutely not. That just not
unless you
gonna
want
happen
to.
in the same way. I'm a lover, I have 4 kids, so it's obviously that I enjoy I enjoy loving intimate things more than I enjoy throwing them bows. So at this stage in life, it's about, like a sister was saying, you take a look at what your strengths are, and you try to amplify those to help people and change lives.
We are on a wavelength, Ayanna, because that's the second time you've dropped something to where that's literally the topic at the end of the show. For me, I have my Shawn Says Essay coming up at 10 past the hour, so you might want to stick around for that, but we want to keep on talking. Ty, do you have anything? And also, Minty, tell us the benefits health-wise of pole dancing, because I'm just curious, because I see some women who always talking about they pole dancing, and they don't look like they need to be on no pole.
What? You should try it, John.
I'm not trying it. I'm not trying to.
Try it for 15 minutes. You'll see the benefits.
I was just making sure I was hearing right before I responded. They don't what like it?
They don't appear.
So, in a moment of transparency,
I said appear. I didn't say they don't deserve to be on pole.
What does appearance look like? Someone can do it.
Like gravity would work a certain way.
It's a big thing. I mean, there's competitions now, right?
Absolutely.
There's money to be made.
There's definitely big money to be made. Well, let's just say you're not a person that's in it for the money, and you just want to work out and don't like working out. There are some people who want to be fit but don't like the gym. They don't like doing push-ups. They don't want to walk or jog or bike. They don't want to do any of that. There are people like that, and pole dancing gives them a way that challenges themselves. And yeah, gravity is working against them, and they love that part because it beats doing a bicep curl. It beats doing a machine. It beats doing a push-up. They pushing their bodies off the ground, so they are doing a push-up. They are squatting down when they do their pole body rolls. It just doesn't feel like a squat because I got a soundtrack in the back and they're getting their sexy on in their mind. So it works. And before they know it, they lost 30, 40, 50, 80 pounds. And it's all come from just hanging upside down on a pole.
Ty's sister is on the line, and she just said a large component of it is confidence, right? And also, our sponsor from the Body Butter Bakery, Kim, is raising her hand. I think she's curious about these exploits. So, Kim, if you have a question, please ship it our way. But it is about confidence. Is that correct?
What isn't? Like, I think everything starts with that. Without the confidence, and that's just the mindset that I'm going to try. Doesn't mean I'm going to succeed, but it means I'm going to try. And a lot of times you win just by the effort. And a lot of women, for them, they're not in competition with anyone. They don't have, they're wives. A lot of these women are wives, and they have workers, and they're mothers. And they just want something fun that doesn't make it feel like work. They don't want to feel like they're working out. And pole dancing is a great challenge. Doing the moves are not easy. And getting a move accomplished is it builds that confidence. So they start small, and then they, next thing you know, they're twirling upside, they're doing it. And they're so happy, and no matter what their weight, I know some pole dancers that are over 200 pounds, and I know some that are 115. They both move well. So it really becomes about your ability to hold your weight. And that's a life thing, hold your weight, hold yourself accountable, hold yourself up. Gravity wants to take you down, don't let it.
So, in a moment of transparency, right?
Sure. Oh, you over there giggling.
He's laughing like crazy. What is it, Ty?
I don't know if you should have waited for the after show, but it's cool. But I actually have a friend who used to own a studio in DC.
Yeah.
Right near up the street from the Verizon Center. And the pole class was one of her most popular classes. And then she transitioned that to the flirty chair class. And then it was the twerk class. So anything that can keep you busy without, like you said, having it feel like work. I actually gave it a shot, right? I used to try it, right?
What did you try? Let's be specific.
I used to try just the general stuff, right?
So you tried the chair class?
The low level stuff.
What the hell is the general stuff? What the hell is
even as a little kid, when you just try to climb up the pole, like that's work.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
All right.
So stuff like that, and they're up there for 10, 15 minutes sometimes. So the funny part is that when I started going to the establishments where they feature the pole, I started recognizing the technique.
Yeah, you be like,
I started recognizing.
Right, she got that shoulder mount going.
I used to be like, yo, do y'all see the level of expertise that's being displayed right here? Y'all need to pay attention, because that move is hard.
And they're like,
you know what I mean?
Like, you don't get out
Right, take all this.
Give them the money. Give them the money.
You deserve all this.
Exactly. Give it. Give it up.
And stuff. What do you?
But yeah, I totally appreciate, what it takes to be good at that. And I didn't even know that there was a stationary pole and a spinny pole.
Absolutely, you better know it. And then they come and
I had no idea.
A spindly pole?
Spinny pole?
Spinny?
I had no idea. There's a pole.
Yeah, some of the poles spin. There's a mechanism that's with a hex screw. You know what a hex screw is, and you can lock it or you can loosen it, and it makes it go. So you don't have to work as hard. You're still working hard. You're just not working hard on the strength component. It's more about the balance and the tempo. So yeah, both are hard.
Yeah, and to keep it spinning.
Yeah,
that's a new technique there too.
You got to keep moving. You can't rest in the spot too long or it stops. So you got to keep rotating and keep doing different moves. Yep.
Hey, Ayanna, Ty probably got another plaque over there with a whole different picture on it.
Right, he don't want to show us. Let us see the pole in the pic.
In fact, it's probably that plaque. And he put an old ass picture on it. Because nothing else is moldy on that plaque except that picture.
Let us see your fireman. Let us see your fireman.
Wait a minute. So, Jay Shawn, did you run track? Because so far we got 1, 2, 3 of us that have that track background. Did you also run track?
I ran cross country, and then I'm like, this shit doesn't have a purpose. Like all these hills and running. Is there a piece of chicken?
Until you're being chased,
What am I running for? Shit. I did baseball and basketball, and then once I got to be a junior in high school, I was all academics. I skipped a grade, so I went back to my actual thing. I was a spelling bee champion. So I was a geek.
Adorable. That's a sport.
Yeah, I was a spelling bee champ. 2nd grade.
Sick, sucker.
Okay.
So I think we got a relay. I think between the 4 of us,
I think it can happen. I got my money on us, sis. I got my money on us.
I'm using my
Give me
money.
that back.
Every year they have an alumni relay. I think the 4 of us need to sign up. And
You can't scare me with a good time.
Give me that.
I got
Give me that back corner. Let me run third. Let me run third.
Ty, give me
I'm
4
first.
because I'm using my damn bike. Y'all can be out
Hit
there
that
running
corner.
if you want. I got all sorts of pictures
Let's
of me
go.
biking.
Let's
I ain't
go.
running for shit. There ain't no ball going through a hoop. There ain't no football going through no leg. No, we ain't. The answer's no.
I understand.
Y'all can do that 4-man relay.
Oh,
3
man.
times with 3 this is a good stopping point. I'm really enjoying the conversation. I'm going to just get this in for editing purposes, and then we'll keep the camera rolling for overtime. But I want to thank my guests here. Of course, I always thank Ty as my wingman for always joining me on this endeavor. Thank you to Tiffany, Go Dogs, UGA. I'm so proud of you. You're beautiful. You've always been beautiful, but you seem like a whole different person. And congratulations to you. And congratulations to Ayanna. She keeps getting invited to shows, Ty. We might see a name of the show. Ayanna keeps getting the show. Ayanna's gonna be 88, and she's gonna be out there with a walker climbing
well, look,
around.
let me do a little shameless plug before we get off.
Yes.
Paramount Plus streaming service. You can access us if you have Amazon Fire Stick. If you have the internet, we are available on Amazon Prime. We are available at Paramount Plus. If you have T-Mobile, T-Mobile is giving away a free year of service.
What?
Yeah.
I ain't got T-Mobile.
Yes. So we're on. The new season premieres on May the 11th. It's going to be a really, really good time. You're going to see a lot of some of your new favorites and maybe some of your old ones that you haven't seen in a while. Like log in, tap in. I am the cast was announced like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, and I'm super excited about seeing 2 of the cast members that were on my season. They are casted to this season, so I really want to watch what they do. I am rooting for both of them, as well as a few others. Kendall Shepard, who was on this live for a little while with us, she's going to be on that cast. That's premiering on May the 11th. Also, follow me, Ayanna Superhero, on Instagram. I'm in the midst of partnering with an organization called Give the Kids a Village, and it's an 89-acre property in Florida. We've raised funds, and it brings together reality stars from across the landscape. So you get survivor folks, you get folks from all of the seasons that come together, and with the intent of providing free experiences for families that have children that are battling terminal illness. So that happens in December. Again, follow me. I can give you more information about it. And yeah, just, again, if you're sitting here watching this tonight and it's like, okay, I'm feeling inspired to learn a little bit more about pole dancing, follow Arminta. I'm feeling inspired to, roast the dust off my old track, whatever else. Go in there, boss, get your track plaque. Put it up on the wall.
The track plaque.
But Shawn, thanks for having me, and it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, and Minty, congratulations to you for achieving and saying bump being in this English realm, and these kids. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and and being 40 fine. All right.
Thank you so much.
For everyone who hangs out, and hopefully the ladies will hang out for a little bit. I know Ayanna keeps a bedtime.
I do.
I know you keep a bedtime.
My dog is over here looking at me like
when are you gonna be done? But just hang out for a little bit, and we might have some people come in later if anyone drops out. But that's for Shawn overtime. But I gotta close this out with my essay for this wonderful body issue. Shawn says, "Roe is us." It's ironic that's the. Wow. 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 Let me tell y'all something. I don't know what's going on with IG, but apparently we can only do these 1 hour at a time. So here's what I'm gonna do. Everyone follow me. Since I have the screen to myself, I know Sherry, but since I have the screen to myself, I want my panel, if they still want to come back in, please plug back in. I will bring you in. I'm gonna read this piece solo. So I'll wait for we have our cumulative group of folks. I'm gonna read this piece. But we've had a great show. Shawn Overtime is coming up next. Thank you all for finding me. Thank you all for finding Tyrone. And thank you, Ayanna, Arminta, and Tiffany. Thank you all so much. But we're gonna do this right here because that was pretty lame. Folks who just pop in. IG about to get fired. I don't know why it's tripping like this.
It's because we talking about good stuff.
We are talking about good stuff. And, I've been doing this for 3 months now. And never have they said, all right, that's enough of you Negroes, get out of here.
Now, I truly think sometimes, too, I think that maybe on the back end, they're doing updates and all kinds of interesting stuff. And maybe, I don't know. I think that sometimes when we try to do things, sometimes universe just, acts wacky. That's just what it is.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm going to say this piece. I'm going to say this piece because I wrote it. I'm going to say this joint. Ty is probably, Ty and Minty, Minty might be walking her dog real quick. But we're going to read this. This is, take 2. This is, Bro Is Us. Yes, so this is essentially the Shawn Show body issue, and I wouldn't close with a topic largely to do with women's bodies without talking about the morality and the Scarlet Letter's actions. Now, I'm not here to pick a side, but news happened last night, and we need to talk about it. See, life in society is every bit as organic as the human body, and the human body doesn't just look good or become healthy without work and maintenance. Follow me on the conservative diet plan to get their agenda in shape. First, a lean diet of propaganda. See, the once pro-abortion woman central to Roe v. Wade, Norma Jean McCorvey, who lived a dirt-poor existence and cried hardship, converted to Christianity in 1994. And in 2004, McCorvey said that the abortion was wrong and became the biggest anti-abortionist with speaking engagements, political rallies, and was a large part of the conservative revolution looking to reverse the pro-abortion Supreme Court ruling that was ironically decided 7-2 by a then conservative bench. 1 year after McCorvey's flip on the issue in 2004 and 2005 and inspired President George W. Bush nominated Justice Samuel Alito to the Supreme Court. The same staunch anti-abortionist who wrote the inflammatory 68 pages that is deemed the precursor to losing those abortion rights that was leaked on Monday night. Now, while the pro-life crowd got in shape, the pro-choice crowd largely remained comfortable, complacent, and got fat. It used to be fine, yes, but the decades of comfort made them see what they wanted to see in the mirror, a healthy agenda. Instead, you had Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a woman with significant health issues, tell then President Barack Obama at a lunch in 2013 that she would not leave the bench, although she had health issues and she was 80. And as a result, liberals never secured what the White House was hoping to control and prevent Republicans from doing. And Donald Trump, who got 3 anti-abortion justices on the bench, succeeded. Trump was only able to do so because staunch pro-choice advocates like, say, a Susan Sarandon or a Michael Moore or whomever were all too butthurt about Bernie Sanders. They said Hillary stole the election. Does that sound familiar? They ate a diet of sugary liberal campaign promises. They pouted. They sulked and sat on the sofa. They didn't eat their political vegetables. They didn't vote when it mattered. The overturning of abortion reminds us that elections have consequences. They got fat, complacent, and now they are about to lose. Again. Whether it is your body, your lawn, or even your politics, or lives generally expire and require maintenance. You can sit on the couch and expect to lose weight. You can't have a nice lawn without cutting the grass. And you can't expect your political world to stay in shape if you neglect the issues. See, like all things in life, you have to not just want a situation. Sometimes you have to actively fight for better. Sometimes you have to work out just to keep the weight down. Not just to lose weight. Sometimes you have to just get off your ass and work to maintain. By the way, remember what I told you about the woman who used to be Roe in Roe versus Wade? Norma Jean McCorvey, who flipped and said that she was all of a sudden anti-abortion? Well, she was on a payroll of conservative organizations. She said so in her deathbed. She was still pro-abortion, but she was so poor that she took the money and changed sides. Seems like one side decided to use whatever exercise is necessary to get their agenda in shape. That is Shawn Says, and that concludes Roe is Us. And I'm gonna bring in some people. We could talk about it if we want, but this is overtime.
Ooh, that was heavy, Shawn. Woo!
Yeah, it was.